You could see drop like this more online now. Good afternoon. Here is the media news on OGBC. My name is Temitope Babalola. First, the major items. President Tinubu receives commendation on agricultural investment. The Ogun State governor is highlighting the contributions of NIPS to development drives. The US and China have agreed to slash tariffs. President Bola Tinubu has been commended for investing hugely in agriculture. The Kaduna State Governor, Senator Basani, came up with this remark at the distribution of presidential palliative relief materials on Sunday. The governor acknowledged President Tinubu's interventions in the agricultural sector, saying it had significantly reduced poverty in the north. According to him, President Tinubu's grassroots development agenda must be supported by all levels of government, adding that the battle against poverty and unemployment cannot be won without full autonomy for the local government. A call has gone to world leaders and stakeholders in the minerals industry to the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Dele Alak, the call, noted that transportation and global prosperity engines on the decisions made today. Dr. Laki said this at the Organization of and Development (OECD) Forum in Paris, France. According to a statement by his Special Assistant on Media, Mr. Shegun Tomori in Abuja on Sunday, the minister stressed the importance of global partnerships in building a resilient and sustainable mining sector, highlighting the critical role of mining in the global shift towards greener energy. Dr. Alaki emphasized the need for smarter site collection, optimized operations, sustainable processing, waste management, and environmental stewardship as a responsibility owed to future generations. The federal government has assured Nigerians that the Akure-Ikere Road dualization project will be ready for inauguration by President Bola Tinubu in December. The Federal Controller of Works in Ondo State, Engineer Olajide Hussein, gave the assurance in an interview in Akure. According to Engineer Hussein, the first phase of the road project cost 19 billion naira, while the second phase is expected to go up 23 billion naira. He said it was the policy of the ministry to always do project while the contractor works on the second lane. Engineer Hussein praised the minister that the project of the alumni of the National Institute NEWS is not by mistake, rather a development to add values to the development drive of the state. The Ogun State Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, stated this at the inauguration of the State Executive of the Alumni Association of the National Institute, ANI, on Sunday in Abeokuta, represented by the Head of Service, Mr. Ken Mosoya. Governor Abiodun noted that the decision to establish a chapter of the Alumni Association in the state would create a structured forum through which members can coordinate initiatives and support one another. Informed that the state has maintained a consistent relationship with the school and the state to organize a strategic leadership and management course for all permanent. Still at home, Governor Dapo has assured contingents to the 22nd National Sports Festival for smooth transportation to event venues across the state, with more than 5 venues hosting various events during the Gateway Games 2024. The governor emphasized that shuttle buses would be provided from the Games Village at Babcock University to the different centers across the state to ensure the timely commencement of the event. Governor Belden also assured contingents, spectators, and residents on OGBC 90.5 FM. The United States and China this Monday said that they have agreed tariffs for now as the two world's biggest economies seek to end a has disrupted the global outlook and set financial markets on the edge. Talks with Chinese officials a 90-day pause on measures and that tariffs would come 100 percent points to 10%. Mr. added that the two countries represented the national interest very well and have an interest in balanced trade, stressing that the US will continue to move towards that. Representative Ambassador James A. Greer after the weekend talks in which the two sides had held progress on narrowing differences. The Geneva meetings were the first face-to-face interactions between senior US and Chinese economic officials since the US President Mr. Donald Trump returned to power and launched a global tariff blitz, imposing particularly hefty duties on China. Top officials from India and Pakistan are due to speak this Monday to discuss final details on the ceasefire agreed between them over the weekend. The US brokered ceasefire between the nuclear-armed neighbors appeared to have held overnight after nearly 4 days of intense shelling and aerial incursions from the two sides. On Saturday, President fire between India and Pakistan, saying it was time to stop the current aggression that could have led to the death and destruction of so many and so much. The two nations have ceased hostilities since then, but said they remain vigilant, warning each other of the consequences of violating the ceasefire. Philippines this Monday headed to the polls for a normally low-key midterm election that is showcasing an emotionally charged proxy battle between President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and ally-turned-foe Vice President Sara Duterte. Vice President Duterte and President Marcos are not on the ballot box for more than 18,000 positions but have been campaigning aggressively for their slate of candidates as their bitter rivalry dominates a contest that could influence the future dynamic of power in the country of 110 months over its succession in 2028, while Ms. Duterte's political survival could ride on the vote with an impeachment trial looming that could kill any future hopes of becoming president and following in the footsteps of his father. While posts for mayors, governors, and lower house lawmakers are up for grabs, the tussle for President Marcos and Vice President Duterte is over a dozen in the 24-member Senate, a chamber with sweeping ambitions. A mayoral candidate was shot dead on Sunday at a campaign event in the eastern Mexican city of Veracruz. The candidate of President Claudia Sheinbaum's Morena Party for mayor of Texas-Tepec, Mr. Yesenia Lara, was identified by local media as the slain politician. Footage posted online showed people running and screaming as gunshots ring out at a procession of motorcycles and supporters carrying Morena flags. Other images showed online appeared to show bodies in the street. Veracruz State Governor Mr. Rocio Nahle posted on X that the government will find those responsible for the cowardly murder of the Morena candidate, 4 quarters, and the 3 other injured persons. Now to sports. Flying Eagles captain Daniel Bameyi says the players have revenge on their mind ahead of the clash with Senegal this Monday. The seven-time champions lost 1 goal to nil to the others in a group game 2 years ago in Egypt. The two countries will square up again in a quarter-final fixture at the 2025 Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations this Monday, with a place in the semi-finals and a World Cup ticket at stake. The highly anticipated encounter will hold at the Suez Canal Stadium in Ismaila. Bami stated that they are desperate to avenge the defeat and also secure a place at the 2025 FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Chile. Agriculture remains the sure way to economic advancement. Collaborate with the government to revamp the sector. To end the media news, another look at the major terms. The Kaduna State Governor, Senator Obasani, at the distribution of presidential palliative relief materials on Sunday, commended President Bola Tinubu for investing hugely in agriculture. The Ogun State Governor, Prince Dakwabiodun, represented by the Head of Service, Mr. Kende Onosoya, at the inauguration of the State Executive of the Alumni Association of the National Institute, ANI, on Sunday, said the establishment of the alumni of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NEWS, is not by mistake, rather a development to add values to the development drive of the state. You also heard that the United States and China this Monday reciprocal tariffs for now, as the two world's biggest economies seek to end a trade war that has disrupted the global outlook and set financial markets on the edge. The media news was edited by Idris Adelakun and broadcast from OGBC Abeokuta. For exclusive programs and the latest news updates, visit our website at ogunradio.ng. Follow us on Facebook at Ogun Radio Abeokuta and on X at OGBC 905 FM. You can also listen to OGBC on the Radio Garden.